When we talk about a decade of tech progress, what do you picture? A phone that's a little bit thinner? Well, what if I told you we're talking about an entire renewable energy system? One that used to take up a whole wall, shrinking down into something you can just carry? Let's get into how this incredible journey from a garage wall to a grab-and-go toolbox was even possible.
Just got the 2012 proof of concept, a huge wall-mounted tangle of wires, inverters, and switches. And on the right, that's today's version. It packs the same kind of power into a tough, portable toolbox. The difference is just staggering.
Sparked by the electric car revolution. The absolute game changer was a fundamental shift in battery chemistry, moving away from lead-acid and finally embracing lithium. Now here's why that one shift mattered so much. It all comes down to something called energy density. Basically, lithium-ion batteries can cram way more power into a much smaller, lighter package. Plus, they last for a whole lot more charge cycles. This one technological leap was the key that unlocked the door to making this whole thing portable. So, how did they take advantage of this new tech? Well, this is where it gets really clever. Instead of buying super expensive new lithium batteries, the project found a brilliantly sustainable solution: upcycling used battery modules from Nissan Leaf electric cars. Yep, these are the same energy-dense building blocks from an EV battery pack, now ready for a second life.
It's a concept called second life batteries. See, when an EV battery degrades to maybe 80% of its original capacity, it's not really ideal for a car anymore. But that 80% is still a massive amount of energy, perfect for something like home backup or a portable power station. It's just a fantastic example of smart, sustainable engineering.
Okay, so with this new, compact, and powerful energy source, the entire game changed. The focus wasn't just about proving the concept worked anymore. Now it was all about refining it, shrinking it, and making it truly portable. And that kicked off a decade-long quest for miniaturization. And this just lays out the journey perfectly. You see it go from that massive plywood wall back in 2012 to early models like the Power Pack. Then you see a huge leap with the upright, rolling toolbox design. That's when it got truly mobile. And all of that brings us to today's Box, a tough, compact, and super efficient design.
So how'd they actually pull it off? Well, it really happened in a few key steps. First, they swapped to those energy-dense lithium batteries. The next big challenge was integrating all those separate parts into a single case, which meant developing combo inverter charge controllers. Then they refined the case itself, adding rollers and handles. And finally, the whole thing was engineered for the real world, making it durable, figuring out cooling, and making it simple to just plug and play.
And while all this work was going into making the system smaller, it's so important to remember why it mattered in the first place. That original massive wall installation, it was a huge success. It cut the home's reliance on the electrical grid by 50%. This was never just a cool tech experiment. It was about creating a real, viable energy solution.
This journey from a wall to a toolbox has been absolutely incredible. But technology, it never stops. The evolution is still happening. So, what's next? Well, the trend is pushing towards even more powerful, more efficient, and even more integrated designs.
And this is a glimpse of that future. This is the TFS Pila. It represents the next logical step. By integrating the components even further and optimizing the cooling, you get more power in a package that looks less like a rugged toolbox and more like a sleek home appliance. It's designed to actually blend into your living space, not just hide in the garage.
When you step back and look at it, this whole story is a perfect microcosm of the energy revolution we've seen over the last decade. It's all about better battery chemistry and smarter engineering, giving us way more power in smaller, more accessible packages. And it's often driven by these awesome sustainable ideas like using second-life batteries.
And that kind of leaves us with one final thought. In about 10 years, we've gone from a wall to a toolbox to a sleek appliance. As this technology keeps getting smaller and lighter and more powerful, what do you think your personal power source is going to look like in another decade? A briefcase? Maybe the size of a book? Something we can't even imagine yet? It is a pretty exciting future to think about.
Today's storms rage stronger, extreme weather lasts longer, and when the grid fails, most homes aren't just without power, they're powerless. At Pila, we believe in energy independence for everyone. That's why we invented the Mesh Home Battery, compact, smart backup power for any home, owned, rented, large and small. Pila makes battery backup intelligent and affordable. Appliance by appliance, room by room, get reliable power tailored to your needs and budget. With a slim design and one-time setup, Pila automatically keeps your fridge cold, devices connected, and essentials powered. Pila's mesh system coordinates your batteries to charge from your home's energy sources and optimizes stored energy for outage protection, bill savings, and more, delivering powerful insights to keep you ahead of costly surprises. No tools, no rewiring, just smart, reliable power you control. Whether you protect every room or start with one and expand as your needs grow, powering up new rooms takes seconds, and Pila comes with you if you move. Pila's your answer to energy independence, always working in the background to keep your home powerful.